It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. We got to talk about this game, y'all. We got to talk about this game. We got to talk about this game. We got to talk about this game. Uh, the Detroit Pistons squeak past the Washington Wizards by 2 points. By 2 points in overtime. Um, yeah, we got to talk about it. I rewatched the game this morning. Double checked the box score. Yep, that's right. I double checked the box score. Cade Cunningham shot 45 times. 45 times. 45. And I thought that there were so many aspects of this game that I didn't come away feeling clean. I didn't come away feeling good about it. It wasn't one of those victories I was like, yeah, we squeaked past one of the worst teams in the NBA who weren't even fully healthy by 2 points in overtime. Cade Cunningham played 44 and a half minutes. Duran played about 40. Neither had a good game by either of their standards. Both struggled. I'm not even going to say it was an ugly win. It was was it worth the cost? And I want to talk about that in this video. But before I do, smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. I really appreciate all the love and support. Remember, smashing the like button is a little thing for you. It's a little pow, little right? It's a little thing for you, but it's a big thing for me in the channel. So I appreciate all the love and support when you hit that like button, when you smash the like button and subscribe and the bell for notifications. I feel it. I appreciate it. Shows up in the algorithm, shows up in my assessment, right? How many people that are just viewing versus hitting the like button, saying that they enjoy the video. So definitely share it also with your friends, group chats, Pistons group chats, because this is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be an interesting one that we got to dive in on because I think it's about philosophy. I'm a big philosophy guy. In case you realize I love philosophy. I love psychology. I love history, anthropology. Right. I like to think about stuff. I like to, critically think a little bit more than what the common person might do. Right. I always say it's chess, not checkers. When you think that stuff is just super simple and oversimplified, it's either this or that. You're in that little binary. I say you're already trapped. You're already in the matrix. You already missed the point that life is more in the gray than anything. And very, very, very little is black and white. All right. With all that said, let's get into this game. I'm gonna start with JB Bickerstaff. I'm a big JB Bickerstaff fan. I think he's a phenomenal coach. He's got a lot of he brings a lot to the game. He brings a lot to your team, to your organization. He's stability, he's consistency, he's reliability, he's culture, he is connection, not just to the media, but also to your players. He develops, he builds confidence. He has a good gauge of who's ready and who's not, which is what I want to use as a caveat to what I am going to critique a little bit today. Not a little bit, I'm going to have some clear critiques. And it is a bit philosophical. I don't know if some of y'all remember Derrick Rose. I remember Derrick Rose, right? Played at the University of Memphis for John Calipari before he went to Kentucky. Derrick Rose, number one pick for the Chicago Bulls. Phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent. Coached by one Tom Thibodeau. When he first got there, the Chicago Bulls had actually a pretty nice roster. Guys like Kirk Heinrich and Ben Gordon, the Luol Dengs and the Joakim Noah and Kyle Korver. They had a pretty good roster. And I want to say it was either his rookie year or sophomore year. They have this deep run in the playoffs where they face, I want to say it was the Detroit Pistons, but it was like Ben Gordon versus Rip Hamilton, both UConn products who had an opportunity to kind of like show out. And it was a great playoff showing. Ben Gordon, Derrick Rose had this kind of like duo, right? Very athletic guards, but very different styles. Ben Gordon was more like Cole Anthony on steroids, just crazy bounce, right? And Derrick Rose was more of a consummate point guard who also had a lot of bounce. But playing off each other, they were able to really uh, give the Pistons a lot of headaches, right? Now I want to say the Pistons pulled it out. Rip Hamilton's team pulled it out, or was it? Am I tripping? Was it against Ray Allen? I know it was a UConn versus UConn product. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere. Patience, just a little bit of patience. Either way, it may have been Ray Allen or Rip Hamilton. One or two. It was Ben Gordon going up against another UConn legend, right? University of Connecticut legend, right? The very next year, Ben Gordon's gone. He wanted an extension. The Bulls didn't give it to him. Ended up leaving. I want to say he left to I think he went to the Detroit Pistons. If I got the story right, Ben Gordon goes to the Pistons, but does not recapture the magic from the Chicago Bulls, and he kind of flames out of the league. Kind of a unsung, kind of like what happened type of a story. Um, all that's to say, Tom Thibodeau arrives in Chicago the following year. I forget the name of the coach that was there beforehand. But he was a kind of an old school coach. Either way, Tom Thibodeau arrives, and all of a sudden, this defensive focused team shows up. Right, it was right after the Boston Celtics win their championship, and Tom Thibodeau ends up getting to coach his own team, and he's like this defensive guy. And you see the Luol Deng, Joakim Noah, Taj Gibson. Right, these guys are just defense, 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 and one Derrick Rose, who carries the offense. And he carried the shit out of that offense. Um, but I think a lot of us kept looking at the offense and being like, there's a lot left on the bone here. There's a lot left in terms of potential in this roster that you could be doing offensively so that this guy doesn't have to carry as much. But it was exciting. It was exciting to see Derrick Rose carry it. It was exciting. We all saw this dude have these amazing highlights. He's dunking on everybody. Some of the most fantastic in-game dunks you will ever see is a Derrick Rose dunk package, right? And I remember over and over, I would see these games where I'm just like, does Rose need to be playing this much? This much? And then the infamous injury happens. I think it's in the playoffs. He lands wrong and tears up his knee, and he's never the same again. He was able to come back, and it's a great story coming back and finding his love for the game again and eventually retiring recently over the last couple of years. But it's to say that that was that story. I bring up that story for this reason. How heavy do we want to lean on Cade Cunningham? How heavily do we want to lean on Cade Cunningham? And I want to contrast the Tom Thibodeau's. I want to contrast the coach that has an offensive engine and goes, okay, he's got it. We're just going to focus on defense. I'm not saying this is what JB Bickerstaff is doing. I am saying we're leaning a bit heavily on Cade Cunningham. We're leaning a bit heavily on Cade Cunningham because I'm keeping the end goal in mind, which is a championship. And the season is a marathon. The season is a marathon. The road to a championship is an even longer marathon because it's not just one season. It's one season after another that you have to build upon and have enough success and enough sustainability to continue to march your way up this ladder, up this hill to get to a mountaintop. In order to do that, you got to have health. You got to have sustainability. You got to have your legs. Leaning on Cade Cunningham so heavily right now does not bode well for the end goal. I want to contrast that with one Greg Popovich. Many times Greg Popovich, even in the Tim Duncan prime era, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Sean Elliott, even David Robinson, Mario Elie, Steve Kerr was there for a little bit. Uh, they had squads, rosters, Boris Diaw. And there were times where Greg Popovich would sit his starters specifically, and he said it. He said, because this is a team. This is about team. And what we're trying to accomplish as a team, we can't get there just leaning on these guys, just leaning on our big three, right? This is not Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, and the Pips, right? This is a team. And we have to make sure that our guys 4 through 15 are always ready to step up and step in. That Steven Jackson knows his role on this team is just as important. Kawhi Leonard has to know his role is just as important. And you do that by trusting them. You do that by putting them in position. Because there's something I learned taking psychology of sports. So, my background is in counseling psychology. But before I switched it to counseling psychology, it was actually a sports psychologist, meaning working with athletes, teams, coaching, stuff like that to understand how to build confidence, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that we learned is that when athletes in a team sport are next to extreme talents, guys who are just extremely strong, athletic, tall, they begin to unconsciously defer because they see the other guy as being so much better. They don't look to make the plays that they can make. In fact, teams that have more parity in terms of talent tend to have more greater collective production than teams that have one or two elite talents. In other words, you play more as a team when there is a collective effort, but it's also based upon how they perceive themselves in relation to one another. I'm going somewhere with this. You can't help but have an elite talent when you have elite talent. And you're not going to fault that guy for being an elite talent. You can't fault the team for seeing that they're an elite talent. But what you encourage, what you reinforce as a coach speaks volumes to how they relate to one another. When you sit a starter and you call on number 10, 11, 12 on your bench and saying, you're up, our expectation is the same. Not that you produce the same way they did, but that you produce within this system because we trust this collective effort of this team to be great, not just this one person. So not only are we having expectations and providing opportunity, but we know and we're confident in that we've prepared you for this. I'm going somewhere with this. Can I get an amen? Right? We've prepared you. We have prepared you for this opportunity. We trust that we have coached 1 through 15. We trust that we have coached Tolu Smith as much as we've coached Jalen Duren. And we trust you in this moment to come in and produce. And collectively within this system, we're going to win. We're going to win. That's how we win. That's how you get to championships. That's how you get to championships. One of the most winning franchises in NBA history, the San Antonio Spurs. That's how they got to championships. How did Jordan start winning championships? By trusting his teammates. Remember, he was known as a ball hog. I'm not calling Cade a ball hog. 45 shots is a lot, though. It's a hell of a lot. Allen Iverson would be like, damn, that's a lot. That's that Smush Parker Kwame Brown era. He didn't trust nobody. I wonder how many shots it took Kobe to get to 81. Somebody look it up for me in the chat. How many shots did it take Kobe Bryant to get to 81 points? Was it 45? If we're not asking this now, we're 11 games into this season. 46. I love my chat. YY234 life underscore 21. I appreciate the lookup. I appreciate the stat check. Kobe got to 81 points on 46 shots. This is what I'm talking about. How heavily do we want to lean on Cade Cunningham already? right? These are things that we want to think about. Let me be real. Frank Nitty, I appreciate the comment. It took MJ 49 shots to score 41 points. That is a great point. I'm also curious when. When was this? Yeah, Kobe shot 28 of 46. Is Cade Cunningham a Michael Jordan level athlete? No. Is he built like a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant? When I ask this, it's to get us to think a little bit deeper around body types. Around body types. This is important because how your body naturally functions, how it naturally moves, it is going to impact how you perform under different situations. When you are a thinner, lighter athlete, you cover ground, you run around, and it takes less stress on the body to do so. When you are a heavier athlete, when you run around, it takes more stress. Even if you're in great shape, it takes more stress. This is why bigger athletes, Joel Embiid, Jared Sullinger, you might remember him, Kevin Love, these guys deal with injuries when it comes to the NBA because 82 games is a hell of a lot of games for anybody. And so not every body type is suited for this type of a marathon, a grind, right? Jabari Parker, right? Jaleel Okafor. These guys are going into Europe where they're only playing 30 something, 40 something games, and they're balling out, not worrying about injuries because there's more pace, there's more space in between games, there's more rest and recovery. There's far less in the NBA. How much do we want to lean on Cade Cunningham? This is a real question. This is a real question. We got 23 people in the chat. Smash the like button for me, y'all. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. It's a simple thing for you, big thing for the channel. Really appreciate it. Hit that little like. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because Cade Cunningham's body type to me reminds me more of Brandon Roy, who also is a big what if. Now, he had knee issues coming in out of college. We understood that. We understood that. Cade is not the same. And Cade's upkeep and understanding and knowledge of how to care for his body is also elite. Elite. How he takes care of himself is elite. I commend him for that. But let's not pretend like Cade has not notoriously had conditioning issues. I don't say it as a knock, I say it as an acknowledgement. He's not an athlete who's a marathon runner. He's kind of a sprinter, but it's a steady kind of has to build himself up, almost like a train, and gets himself going, gets downhill, and he's rolling. He's not somebody who just jumps in the game and I'm all over the place and I'm getting buckets. Yeah, Ray Floyd, I was right about Dennis. I'm going to get to Dennis too. I'm going to get to him too because he had a hell of a game, which is why I said we should have trusted them. I'm saying all that to say is that I keep telling y'all our championship window begins next season. This season, we're still evaluating. I get we have a lot of injuries. We have a lot of injuries. I get it. I get it. But Bobby Clement played 7 minutes in this game. Paul Reed, 13 and a half. You can't tell me they couldn't have played more minutes. You can't tell me this wasn't a game where Bobby Clement could not have played 30 plus minutes. He's young. He's spry. He's been showing a lot of flashes. His playmaking, his connectivity, he looked good. I really liked him out there. Yeah, Cade had 5 steals and 2 blocks. I'm not knocking what Cade. This isn't on Cade. This is a JB Bickerstaff and his coaching staff. Are you playing the long game or are you playing the short game? Are we out here to go 9-2 and be the number 1 seed in the East in early November? Is that what we're playing for? Is that our long-term goal? This is a real question. Is that what we're here for? Yeah, Cade emptied the clip, 45 freaking shots. But I'm going to be honest with you, from the very beginning of the game, What's funny was when I watched the game, when I was rewatching it, I saw the very first play and I loved it. I loved it. Right? Brought the ball up. Ron Holland had the ball at the top of the key. Cade Cunningham comes off a Duran down screen, curls it, catches the ball right around the free throw line, gives Keyshawn George a quick move, a little cross, drive, bump with the shoulder, step back, bottoms. I was like, oh, where was that play all this time? Why aren't we running that play all the time? Right? It's a great look for Cade. Get him going. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Right? Even though I wanted them to rest Cade, I love starting off with a play for him to get him an easy look. Why aren't we doing that more often, JB? Why don't we have more plays in the Rolodex that can get Cade easy looks? Because that was probably one of the easiest looks that he would get in the game. And he would blow countless others. He would completely smoke a whole bunch of layups, forays to the rim, spins, up and unders, Euro step, body, miss. His legs. He didn't have legs. He's tired. During the post-game interview, said, oh, we came out flat. No, we did not come out flat. Y'all came out flat because you're tired. You're tired. This is where we have to trust our team on a back-to-back, going from Philly back to Detroit to face Washington, a playoff team to one of the worst teams in the league. If there was ever a moment to say, I trust my other guys to bring us home, that was the moment. That was the moment. That's my critique, JB. That's my critique. When I watched this game and so many games this season and last season, how often are we seeing guys defer to Cade? Defer to Cade, defer to Cade, defer to Cade. Just give Cade the ball. I don't know what to do. Give Cade the ball. I drive. It might be a tough shot. Just give Cade the ball. Oh, I don't know if I can make this. Just give Cade the ball. Just give Cade the ball. Just give Cade the ball. How much do we want to lean on him? Is he going to make it to next season? And what type of shape? And what type of shape? If we're leaning on him this heavily, game 11 against the Wizards. Now I get it. If you made the call, you said, look, Cade feels good. Duran said he feels good. Cade comes out there, shoots, I don't know, 12 of 18 from the field, gets to the free throw line a bunch, gets his 30 ball, and we walk off into the sunset with the victory. I would have been like, okay, hey, there's many ways to skin a cat, right? There's many roads that lead to, a destination. Okay, cool. It worked out. When he shoots 14 of 45, it says he was tired from the jump. He didn't have it from the jump. I get it's a win. I get it's a win. Is that what we're playing for? Is that what all this is about? We tanked to get a number 1 draft pick, right? We tanked again a couple times trying to get Wemby. All right, we didn't get Wemby. We got Asar, we got Ivy, we got Duran, got these draft picks, we got all this talent, and we put all this talent together, went through multiple coaches, all just to get to 9-2. That's what it was about. That's what it was all for. Some of y'all keep playing checkers. I'm a chess player. My dad taught me how to play chess by taking his queen off the board. Says you never want to lean on your queen. You never want to lean on your queen. It's the most powerful piece. We get it. In fact, when I play chess, I swap queens quick. People be mad. Get in the game. We 10 minutes in. Your queen's lined up. You think I'm not going to take it with my queen? Give me that. You take my queen. I'm used to playing without my queen. I grew up playing without my queen. It's all about squad. Now I'm kicking your ass with my knight and bishop and a few pawns. You out there shook because all your whole game plan was to have your queen control the middle of the game. To me, that's a sign of a great coach, a good coach. You don't need hate them type of chess players. I get it. I get it. I was him, boy. Still him. Go up in the barbershop, better know my name. I'm the queen snatcher. But I come up in there, and it's all about the squad. It's all about the squad. This was a missed opportunity to tell your squad, we depend on everybody. We expect everybody to be ready. We expect everybody to be ready. From beginning to end. Tolu Smith, your number just got called. Back-to-back night. Duran looks tired. Cade looks tired. Bobby Clintman, lace him up. Chaz Zanir might get a start. Dennis Jenkins, we need you for 38 minutes. He played 33. We played 34 minutes. I don't know how they calculated this, but 33 minutes and 60 seconds. I'm pretty sure 60 seconds is a minute. That's 34 minutes. I would have loved to have seen Dennis Jenkins running the show. In fact, there was a play in the second half. I was a little disappointed because Dennis Jenkins was rolling, making great plays on defense and offense, right? Getting to loose balls, getting deflections, getting to the rack. He had 4 steals on the game. And he gets this deflection. He's right there to get the ball back, to bring it up the court. And what does he do? Gives it to Cade. As if Cade ain't tired. Dennis Jenkins, you in the game, bro. You in the game. You're a point guard. Your superstar is tired. He's walking it up the court. Now, granted, Cade came down the court, splashed the 3, right? Well, it's a play or two later, right? All this to say, no, Sasser's spot is not in trouble. They're 2 totally different players. Not at all. But if he doesn't come back before Ivy, it might be in trouble because now you're compressing the minutes, right? All this to say, deferring to Cade does not bode well for team long-term success. It's too early in the season to be deferring to Cade. Right now, JB Bickerstaff, I'm still on you. I know I'm 27 minutes in, 28 minutes in. I'm still on you. This should be about the system. Last season, it was about the system. Moving the ball, swinging the ball, trusting each other. Guys making plays, staying within their roles. Ron Holland, you're falling in love with the 3-point shot too much. Maybe you were tired too. Maybe you were tired also. But I would have had more expectation for Ron Holland, especially with Cade out. I think he would have been in a different role. I also don't think we start off Ron Holland on CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum is a professional bucket. He is a professional bucket getter, a professional scorer at the highest order as any NBA player. Go ask LeBron. Go ask Luka. He's a bucket. Go ask SGA. Go ask Brunson. He's a bucket. He's been a bucket since way back when. Since he got into the NBA, CJ McCollum's been a bucket. Ron Holland, and this is something else I want to get to about this team. In this game, you know it was exposed. How heavily reliant we are on Asara Thompson and Isaiah Stewart for defense. Our defense looked putrid. It looked terrible in that starting unit. Cade, Duncan Robinson, Ron Holland. Who's the other starter? I'm trying to think. Javonte Green was solid on defense. And Duran. Alex Sarr got off immediately. CJ McCollum got off immediately. And there was no slowing him down. In fact, Alex Sarr just slowed himself down by just not shooting, not being aggressive. And their coaches, meh. He wasn't exactly drawing up plays for Alex Sarr. He should have had Alex Sarr shooting about 5 to 8 threes by the end of this game. How many did he end up getting to? Oh, he ended up shooting 1 for 5. I'd have had him shoot 8. I'd have had him shoot 12. So we need to pull Duran all the way out. We need to pull Duran all the way out. I'm saying that all to say is that our team has levels to go. We got to get better defensively. We have to get better defensively. After Cade and Duran came out and Paul Reed was in the game, and then we brought Dennis Jenkins in the game, which I've been saying could be a great point of attack defender. When Dennis Jenkins came in the game and Paul Reed came in the game, our defense turned back on. We began generating turnovers, getting out in transition, putting the Wizards on their heels. Here's the thing. This is what I keep trying to reiterate. We're here to win a championship. That's what the Pistons are about. I hope JB Bickerstaff remembers that. That's what this organization is about. That is the expectation. When you have a Cade Cunningham, the expectation is an NBA championship. I say this all the time when it comes to a team drafting a superstar player. When you draft a superstar player, you have 7 years. You have 7 years before they're likely gone, unless you are already in a major market. Detroit is still a good sized market. But I say you have 7 years before they get to their opt out. And you have 7 years to either win a championship or have multiple deep playoff runs that communicate to this elite generational talent that I can win here. If the Pistons don't make a deep run over the next 2 seasons, expect in another 3 years when Cade has his opt out, you're not going to see him opt in and extend. You may see him holding out. You may see rumblings of, is he going to leave? Because at a certain point, it's about winning. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I doubt that's going to happen because I see Jalen Duren ascending. I see Asar Thompson ascending. I see Ron Holland. We still got Ivy coming. This is a great young roster, but you got to win. And to win, you're going to need your team. And you can't bring your team along with this mindset of we all defer to Cade Cunningham. That's not how you're going to get to a championship. That's not how your team is going to be ready to win at the highest level. That's not how you get there. It's not. It's not. It's not how you get there. If you're going to come out there and guys just give the ball to Cade and not look to make plays, Ron Holland, you should have been driving downhill over and over. Dennis Jenkins, you had a good game. Chaz Anier actually had a pretty good game. May have had his best game of the year, shooting 3 of 7, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line. I want to say he even got on the boards a little bit, right? 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Bobby Klintman, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Shot 1 of 2 from the 3-point line in only 7 minutes. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see a team step up. I get it. We want W's. We want to win. Somebody yesterday after my live in the morning was like, hey, man, we can't be surrendering W's to the Wizards. You know, we got to make sure that we keep winning. I'm like, I get it, bro. But are we really playing for beating the Wizards? Is that really what this is about? Is that really what we're doing all this for? So we can make sure we beat the 1-9 Wizards? If our bench can't give us a shot to beat a 1-9 team, then we're not that good. Yes, I expected to see more of Klintman as well. Double elated. That's a great point. I expected to see more of Bobby Klintman as well. Mega Hustler in the chat. I would still take back Chris Middleton on the Pistons. I would too. I think he would be a great mentor. In fact, I would flip Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert for Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum any day of the week. What's good, Sandro? Pistons are cooking right now. Love to start during dabbing each other up. Some tough love. Yeah, that was the other game. Because the Wizards players you name were able to farm Duncan Robinson, foul Duncan Robinson all game. Detroit still needs a legit 3-and-D wing. We do. We do. We also need rebounding help for Duran. Bobby Clement was right there waiting. Last night was a sloppy win for sure. It was. Thank you for being honest. It was mad sloppy. But some of it was guys doing too much. They weren't. I didn't see the system last night. I didn't see the system. RX-7 was good. I totally agree with that comment. You said you agree on my point on Dennis Jenkins. JB almost cost us the game by overplaying Cade in the third and not going to Dennis earlier. He also needs to draw up actual offense for Duran. I keep saying this, bro. I keep saying, and this is the difference of levels of coaching. I'm not saying JB's not a good coach. I'm saying there's something to learn. There's always something to learn, always something to grow, right? You should always have that growth mindset. I remember I was coaching this team overseas. We took like this travel team. We was in we were in the Czech Republic, and I'm trying to get my team ready, and I'm putting guys in these roles. And I remember I was getting some resistance. I was getting some real resistance. It was a little frustrating. I was a younger coach back then, and this older coach who had this other team that was traveling with us, he pulls me to the side and he's like, "Hey, have you considered talking to your team and asking them what roles they think that they would be best in?" And at the time, I'd never thought to consider that. Every coach I'd ever had, they just tell you what to do. And so I'm thinking I'm this benevolent coach, putting them in the best position to win. And I'm kind of dictating it, but I'm thinking I'm doing so with the outlook of trying to help them. And this coach, older coach, pulls me aside. And he's like, "Hey, you might want to try this." I was kind of humbled in that moment, but I never forgot the lesson. Right. So we can all learn, we can all keep growing. This is a growth moment for JB. Where's your plays that get your best players easy looks? It can't just be the pick and roll that's dependent upon those two guys to read it. Right? The pick and roll is almost, I'm not going to say it excludes the coaches. It says the players got it. But I'm saying there's a big difference between when you draw up a play and these guys follow quick and easy steps that they can do unconsciously to get good looks. I saw it at the very beginning of the game. You had a play that got Cade a great look. We need those plays being ran with regularity. I need to see plays that get Cade off when he needs a bucket, when he's struggling a bit, when he misses 4 in a row. He shouldn't have to get to 45 shot attempts to get to that shot total, to get to that scoring total. Shouldn't take 45 shots to get to 46 points. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. In fact, JB, it may seem like I'm getting on you today. It may seem like it. But take it with a grain of salt. I love you, man. I think you're a really good coach. Fan of yours for sure. By the time you got that technical on Cam Whitmore going up top to try to block Cade, one, it was a pretty clean block. Yeah, he got a little bit of the arm, but it was a pretty clean block. Cam got up. I've been begging for you to get a technical on guys trying to rough up Cade all season long. You're not supposed to do it at the big play. When he gets knocked to the ground, he's falling on his butt and he's having a hard time getting up. You're supposed to do it early in the game when they're riding him. They're reaching, they're holding, they're grabbing, they're doing the little things. That's when you're supposed to get real demonstrative, yelling, cussing at the ref. Go get your technical at that moment. Go get your tech. Because what that tech does, it says my standard for my superstar, that I am willing to go above and beyond and put you, the referee, on the spotlight to be accountable for, is at this level. The hand checking, the grabbing, the holds, the pulls, the tugs. All the little things that makes it that much more difficult for your superstar to get off. And when you set that precedent, what that does is it registers to the referees. I'm now accountable for noticing that. The level 3 fouls, not the level 9 fouls where he's getting knocked in the air. That's a given. That's a given. If you have to get a tech to get a referee to acknowledge your superstar getting fouled in the air at the rim, you haven't done your work already. You know, they talk about doing your work before the big man gets to block or before the guy that you're defending gets to his spots. You got to do your work beforehand. That's what you're supposed to do, JB. Do that work beforehand. I see you talking to the refs. Sometimes you got to get in their ear for real. For real. And it could be all good. It could be all love later. It could be all love later on. Afterwards, you can slap them on the behind. Hey, great job. No hard feelings. But in the game, when you're riding my superstar in the first quarter, grabbing his jersey, scratches, slaps on the elbow, no call, I'm in your ass. I'm in your ass right there. I'm in your ass right in that moment. I'm on you. I'm on you. And you're going to feel me. You're going to feel me. I should be getting a couple of, all right, coach, that's enough, coach. I should be getting a couple of those before the end of that first quarter. So you know what I'm looking for, what you are going to look for. You have to. You have to. We got to do better. We got to do better collectively. We can't keep leaning on Cade and then letting Cade get beat up all game. He's not going to last. He's not going to last. Yeah, Devereaux, he's been trying to cut the refs some slack, and I get that, but sometimes they need to be pressed a little bit. Bro, you got to press him. You got to press him to protect your superstar. Cade is not going to last the journey to a championship if we're leaning on him for 45 shots to beat the Washington Wizards by 2 points. Bro, that doesn't work. That is not a good sign. It's not. All right, we're 9-2. 8-3 wouldn't have killed us if our bench squad got valuable developmental minutes. We get a greater assessment of their ability to fill in and play roles that we need because of all the injuries. And Cade and Duren are that much more rested to go into 2 really tough games against the Bulls and the 76ers. 2 games that are going to be get-back games. One of them is the NBA Cup game. Ray Floyd, you're right. We got to protect him. And you protect Cade in 2 different ways. One, you stop deferring to him all the time. You stop deferring to him all. Quit putting it all on him to make all the plays. And secondly, as a coach, you got to make sure those refs are looking out for those common fouls that they do against Cade from the very beginning. Before the jump ball, before the captains go to half court and pick a game ball. The moment those refs get there, you should have assistants talking to the referees, talking about, hey, so we're going to watch the little hand check on Cade, right? Because you know how they're always riding them, right? And the little grabs around the side. We're going to be watching for that, right? Matter of fact, I'm sending videotape to the NBA. Send them to referees like, hey, y'all not calling this. My guy's getting hacked. I don't want to have to call him out. I know y'all don't like that. Make sure they know. Right? Do your work before it even gets there. That's how you protect Cade. And Duren, shoot, even Chazanier, Dennis Jenkins, all the way down to Bobby Clintman. You can't just have this mindset of I'm just going to kick the ball out and defer to Cade Cunningham. Because if you do, what's going to happen is he's going to wear down. And then all of a sudden, when he starts getting nagging injuries, he's got a bruise here, which he might have after today. When he has a bruise here, he has a strain this, he has a sore that. He's got tightness here. Don't start getting the lower back. Right? These are all fatigue injuries. These are all byproducts of being leaned on far too hard too soon. These are the adjustments that we've got to start making as a team. Remember, the goal is not to go 9-2 and beat the Washington Wizards by 2 points. That's not what we're here for. I know some of y'all are excited. Some of you are like, yeah, we 9-2. We number one in the East. We top in the East. Yo, you're supposed to be excited about being the number one seed in the East in April and March, not November, bro. Come on now. You can't be that thirsty. You can't be that thirsty. We just happen to be number one seed in the East in November. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Some of y'all, I don't know what we out here for. Some of y'all are like the dudes who just want to score buckets and they don't care if they win. Some of y'all are those dudes on pickup. Out there talking trash. Score is 5-2. Score is 5-2, and you out here trash talking because you had a nice lay. You was like, now you doing all the little sign, you doing all the you showboating. Score is 5-2, bro. Score is 5-2. We got to get to 15. You know what I mean? Way too soon to be showboating. Do that when you hit the game winner. Do that when we go up 12-8. We about to put them away. Not at 5-2, bro. We just got here. We just checked up. What are we talking about? The season just started. It's November. And we excited about 9-2. I'm more concerned about Ron Holland shooting too many threes and not being focused on getting downhill and rebounding. I'm more focused on Cade Cunningham having to take 45 shots to get to 46 points. When it should be closer to 20 shots to get to 30. I'm focused on Duncan Robinson still trying to find his rhythm, find his legs. Be more consistent. Where's the Duncan Robinson from the Miami Heat? That's what I'm looking out for. Maybe this is him. I'm more concerned about these other aspects of what it means to become a championship team. Some of y'all got it twisted. I'm here to win, bro. I'm here to win the whole thing. That's the fan that's the hooper that I am. That's the basketball player that I am. I'm trying to put you away and stay on the court. I'm trying to run 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row. That's a good day for me. Not just getting 6 buckets and losing the first game, and then I got to sit out 2, 3 games waiting to get back on, or hope I know somebody to just pick me up. It's a maturity thing, man. Quit acting like we just got here, bro. I know it's been a while since we've won. I know it's been a while since we got a championship. I know it's been a while, but this is the difference between like a Lakers and a Celtics fan. I hate to bring them up. I know it's a sore spot. We not just happy to be here, bro. We not just happy to be here. We're talking about banners. I know it's been a while, bro. I was there when the Pistons beat the Lakers. I called it. I said the Pistons are going to beat them because this defense has everything it needs to neutralize what the Lakers were going to bring with, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Kobe Bryant. Right? They had this like superstar lineup. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're going to run." I was like, "Nah, these Pistons, bro. The way these Pistons are playing, bro. The way they're playing, they're going to get them." I don't know. Some of y'all wasn't even born when it happened. Back in 2004. I was fresh out of high school watching it. Slow motion. I was a big Kobe fan too. I had the afro. I looked like Kobe. You know what I mean? Sandra said, I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9 because if you stop shooting, that means you lost confidence. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I call it. I call it. That means you don't trust your teammates. That's what you're really saying. I get it if you Kobe and you saying Smush Parker sucks. Kwame Brown sucks. If that's your mindset, you think your teammates suck. All right, go for it. Deion Waiters said that. Yeah. Okay, I was about to say, out here misquoting Cade. Sandro, strike one. I'll be misquoting Cade. Shoot. Nah, I'm just saying though. You gotta trust your team. You gotta trust your team. Cade, you gotta look at your teammates and you gotta get on their ass when they don't shoot, when they don't take shots, when they pass it up, when they're getting passive and just, pump faking. Okay, I'll just swing it back around. No, bro. Take it to the rack. You should be on Duran's top. Duran, let's go, bro. You're supposed to be having. Duran ended this game with only 10 shot attempts. Shame on you, Duran. You didn't show up. Duncan Robinson and Javonte Green shot the ball more than you. And you played more minutes than both of them. And they shot the ball more than you. You stopped being aggressive. 11 shots. 10 shots. Shame on you, Duran. Shot 6 of 10. You should have been 6 of 15. You should have been 8 of 20. Quit having Cade do all the work. Should have had Alex Sarr in foul trouble. Marvin Bagley, third, in foul trouble. Quit out there every 5 seconds. Every time you fall to the ground, bruh, play big. Play big, Duran. Play big. You was looking soft out there. Looking S-O-F-T. Soft. Duran, you got to do better. We playing for championships here, not to go 9-2, not to squeak out a victory in overtime by 2 points against the Washington Wizards. That ain't why we're here. That's not the goal. That's not what we get excited about. Those of you that are excited about 9-2 and that victory last night, squares. You forgot what this is all about. It's about winning championships, bro. It's about winning championships. You want a guy that just loves to score? You want to know a guy? You want to know a guy in the NBA right now? We just played him. His name's Cam Whitmore. Great talent. Great athlete. Incredible athlete, in fact. Can shoot threes. Can get to the free throw line even. Great in transition. Boomed on Duran. Shook Holland on a little jab move. Might have traveled a little bit. Shook Ron Holland on the little move. Cocked it back. Looked like Vince Carter in the prime. Boom! Right on Duran. You know why he doesn't start despite all that talent? Because he's not a winner. He's not a winner. He's not a winner. Because he don't do nothing else. He don't do the little things it takes to win. He wasn't smart enough to realize I got to follow up this big time dunk with getting a couple of rebounds, a deflection, a steal, maybe an assist, set a good screen, good rotation, moving my feet on defense. If I put it all together, making winning plays, I'm a winner. Just scoring doesn't make you a winner. Getting to 9-2 in November doesn't make you a winner. I thought this was a missed opportunity. We got the win. Didn't feel good. Didn't feel good. We keep having Cade go to the well. You know what I mean by go to the well, right? That means you got to dig deep. You got to go deep. You got to pull something out of yourself to get that victory. Why is Cade having to do that every single game? It's not a good sign, bro. It's not a good sign. It's not, bro. Late game heroics by Cade Cunningham cannot be the recipe. If that's your system, JB Bigstaff, I'm keeping a band with you. If that is your system, if we go through the rest of this season and we're in April and we're still relying upon Cade Cunningham to go to the well and pull it out for us at the end, they're going to be looking at you just like Cleveland was. You may not be the guy for a championship run. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I want you to figure this out because I want you to be the one. I want you to stand on top of the podium with us. I want you to have that Larry O'Brien trophy in your hand with tears in your eyes, validating everything. Second generation coach, father, son, coach, championship. That's what I want to see from you, JB. But you got to get your system in play. And you do that by trusting the rest of your guys. You should have went to the bench. Sit Cade. Call it stiffness, tightness, Duren, soreness. Let him rest on the back-to-back. Let Bobby Klintman get his 35 minutes, 10 to 12 shot attempts. Let Chaz Zanier air it out. Instead of 7 attempts, he's at 12. I wanted to see a game where almost everybody in that starting lineup and a couple guys on the bench, you could have went 8 deep in this game. And everybody would have had anywhere between 12 to 15 shot attempts. Dennis Jenkins, 9 of 17. He might have went for 30 in this game. We probably would have contained CJ McCollum better in this game had he started. Imagine a Dennis Jenkins, Javonte Green, Ron Holland, Duncan Robinson, Paul Reed starting lineup. I think we contain a whole lot better on the perimeter. I think when I get some guys back healthy, it will change. It will. It will. But remember, Marcus Sasser gets reevaluated in 3 more weeks. Ivy should be getting reevaluated sometime this week. We're still Karis LeVert, sore knee. He doesn't play back-to-backs because he's old and he's brittle. Okay. We should be getting him back. Then we got Isaiah Stewart, Tobias Harris with the ankles. They might be back sometime soon in the next couple of weeks. Asar Thompson, who knows, couple of weeks. Yeah, Javonte Green was all over the place. Played big minutes, 38 minutes. That's what I want to see. Big minutes, hooping. I also saw Javonte Green backdoor cut and Cade Cunningham look him off and take a little push shot that fell short. Is he trusting his team? Look, early in the season, you should have the mindset, we're going to win as a team, lose as a team. It's not all on me. Because you're playing for a championship. You're playing for a championship. This was a game that was I'll put it this way. It was a hard win. It was an ugly win. It's a win that we'll take, but it might have cost us more than what we think. Right? You know, they say in dominoes, not all money is good money. Not all money is good money. You got that nickel, got that little dime, but you set bruh up over here to run the table. You done blocked us in. You done locked up the board. And now she got the domino over here. What we talking about? What we talking about? You lost the domino. You wanted to get that little nickel. Got that nickel off. Not all money is good money. This win was a nickel. Beating Philly, that's 15. That was 20. That was a big win. It's worth going to the well for. Statement win against a playoff team. A 1-9 Washington Wizards. You had to go into overtime. Could have easily lost the game or had to go into double overtime had CJ McCollum not had the 3-pointer blocked by Javonte Green's heroics and getting that little fingernail block. Or if CJ McCollum had made the layup at the buzzer, we would have been in double overtime. Cade would have been playing 48, 50 minutes. Imagine if we had lost and Cade had to play 50 minutes, take 50-something shots. Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're 11 games in. We are 11 games in. Got 30 people in the chat. Appreciate everybody for showing up for this live chat. Smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Share this live with your friends. Keep the conversation going. This was not a win that I enjoyed watching. It was not. 45 shot attempts to get to 46 points. This was not a good win. Yeah, Sandra, I want to see this team with Ivy back badly too. I kept telling y'all it's probably going to be closer to December, New Year's before we get Ivy back. I'm not mad about that. We're not rushing Ivy back. Don't rush him back. There's plenty of basketball to be played in January, February, March, April, May. Ugly win is still a win. Man, see, that's how I know you be losing at dominoes too. See, Sandro, you exposing yourself, man. You losing at chess, you losing at dominoes, you losing at bones, bro. Not all money is good money. You out here trying to take pawns. I'm trying to get checkmate. You out here excited. Ooh, I got your bishop. I just took your rook, bro. It's chess, not checkers, bro. Not all money is good money. Cade having to play 44 and a half minutes on a back-to-back. That's ugly, bro. That's ugly. And we leaned heavily on him. And he almost led us in rebounding. 12 rebounds, 11 assists. Man, I would have rather, I'm going to be honest, I would have rather sat him down, sat down during, and watched the rest of this team show up. Oh, positive takeaway. You know what? I got you. Because this has been a long live, and my baby girl's home from school today. We're going to make some banana pancakes. I told her I'm going to make her some banana pancakes. So that's what we're going to do right after this. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Classic 76. I appreciate asking for the positive takeaway. Positive takeaway from this game. Dennis Jenkins showed up. Chaz Lanier showed up. I appreciated that. It gives us something to think about. If Duncan Robinson can't get it going, there may be some more minutes for Chaz Lanier. On nights where Karis LeVert doesn't have it or needs to sit out on a back-to-back, we need to get more Dennis Jenkins minutes. And Dennis Jenkins, I think he's becoming more and more comfortable with his game. His game is not a shot creator. He's more like Tyus Jones. That's probably a good comparison for him. He's a little bit bigger, 6'3" version of Tyus Jones. Definitely more athletic. But he's a guy who can hit threes and get downhill to the rim. I need him to get a little... He's got to give me something when he can't get all the way to the rim. Give me a floater. Give me a little bump. Step back from a little 6 to 8 feet. But I'm tired of seeing you pick up the ball when you get to the rim and then pivot out and look for somebody to kick it out to. You got to have something else. But Dennis Jenkins had a good game. He had a great game for us. And what it tells me is that he really has something. He has something. His defense, he was all over the place. I loved his energy. Loved his energy on defense. Did a great job staying in front of CJ McCollum. By the time he got in the game, though, CJ McCollum has already got rolling. And we know with professional scorers, with professional buckets like CJ McCollum, once they see the first couple of shots go down, especially in a row, and he got free throws, it was a wrap. It was going to be a long night for the Pistons. And it was. CJ McCollum ended the game with, what did he end up with? 42 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And I got to hang that on Ron Holland's head. He got beat on a backdoor cut right off top to begin the game. Then fouled him on an and one. Like, next thing you know, CJ McCollum can't miss. It was just a bad look, bro. It was a bad setup, Ron. Got to do better. Be in position. See your man in the ball. All right? We used to do finger pistols. You have to point at your man, point at the ball. And it was an efficient 42 points, though. Thank you, Devereaux. Thank you, Devereaux, 87. An efficient 42 points. But I can't call it because Cade probably shouldn't have been out there in the first place. He was tired. He was beat. He was exhausted. Remember, he's not one of these light, skinny athletes who can run up and down all day. Neither is Jalen Duren. You have to pace these guys different. You have to pace them different. Remember, and I should have made this point earlier, NBA players run more today in the NBA than they ever have in the history of the NBA because of the three-point shot. They have to cover more ground in the NBA than ever before. Guys aren't just running end to end, basket to basket like they used to teach us back in the day. They're running to the three-point line. You're running back and you're covering the weak side corner. You're chasing them off of pin downs in the corner, coming off a double screen for a 30-foot three-point shot. You're chasing the Sam Merrills. You're chasing the Max Struses. You're chasing the Duncan Robinson. You're chasing guys who are just regular role players, not just the Stephen Currys, not just a Tyler Hero, not just a Luka Doncic or even a Austin Reeves. Right? You're chasing ordinary bench guys 30+ feet from the rim. There's no resting. You go back and you watch Jordan back in the day. He could sit back at 10 feet from the basket while his man is out there at the three-point line. Matter of fact, his man's not even at the three-point line. His man is on the short wing at 18 to 20 feet out inside the three-point line. Jordan's not even worried about him because guys don't shoot. Yeah, you had a Del Curry here and a Reggie Miller there. They were rare. They were rare. It was about the mid-range and getting to the rim. Posting up bigs. Getting to the free throw line. They never had to run this much. Never. You see Stephen Curry out here. Man, he's taking years off defenders' lives every single time. Hot damn. Steph just won't stay still. Shot goes up. He already relocated. I'm flying out at Steph. He don't pass the Draymond backdoor cut. I'm flying on the backdoor cut, coming off the screen, coming around, swinging around. He gets a screen from Quentin Post, Jimmy Butler doing a little dribble handoff, coming around the screen. Right now he's driving for a leg. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna run that much in one defensive sequence? One. The hell? I'd be hella mad if I had to run that much. Switching everything. Switch, nigga. Go on, get him. Shit. Running? Shit. I'm supposed to shoot a jump shot running that much. So let's not compare earlier generations. And definitely don't compare. Somebody in the chat, he was out here. He was telling me in the chat, he was like, remember back in the day, we was 21, 22 years old. We could play basketball all day. I said, bruh, comparing our pickup basketball to the NBA is like comparing when your kid picks up a couple dolls or G.I. Joes off the floor to you having a full-time job. There is absolutely no comparison, bro. Absolutely no comparison. They're chasing some of the greatest athletes and players the world has ever seen. Ever. You know, these bench players would be MVPs in these other professional leagues around the world. MVPs. You take Tolu Smith and you put him in the Euro League, he's an all-star. He's an all-star. You take Marcus Sasser, take him overseas. He becomes Kendrick Nunn. One of the greatest scorers to play in the Euro League of all time. Right? You got to remember how good this league is. We got to stay focused. I hope Cade is getting rest. Yeah, Kemba Walker's still cooking in other leagues, bro. I don't know. You know, I'm not following Kemba in other leagues. I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. Classic 76. Yeah. Personally, you thought that they should have rested Cade, but I appreciate the grit for the city. Reminds me of Stafford diving in with no fear, going for a touchdown. I expected him to sit Wednesday night. See, here's the thing. How are we going to sit him on Wednesday night? How are we going to sit him on Wednesday night? We got the Bulls. That's a divisional rivalry against a playoff team right now. That's the game we need him for. We need him for against the Bulls. We need him for against the Philadelphia 76ers on Friday, which is an NBA Cup game. Come on, JB. Playing chess. Keep the end goal in mind, bro. And if you're going to play him on a back-to-back, have him on strict minutes. Strict minutes. And say, I'm going to coach the rest of the team. Make sure the rest of the guys are doing their job to keep us in the game. If the team can't get us there, we're not going to just lean on you at game 11, bro. Especially with Ivy out and Asar out and everyone else out. Oh, Sandra, Josh Giddey. Hey, you know what? Josh Giddey already got stopped by DeAndre Hunter. Crossed him up and broke his ankles, literally. Dev, I appreciate the love in the super chat. Keep cooking, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Dev with the super chat. Appreciate it. All love. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. It's real talk. We gotta have, like, bro, I don't know how else to put it. It's chess, not checkers. You can't get satisfied on getting nickels and dimes in these bones. You can't be excited about 9-2, 11 games in November. This was not an exciting win for me. This was like a, damn, was it really that serious? Do we really need to do all that? That's when you get sent to the store for some random item. Somebody's like, oh, give me one more onion. You're like, what? I'm hungry. We trying to eat. Nah, go to the store to get one more onion. One more onion? What's one more onion gonna do? I say just give me one more onion. Which one you want? Give me the white onion. Not even the yellow or the red? No, one more onion. You go and you get the onion, and then they finish making the meal. They only took off that much of the onion. And they got the whole onion just sitting there. You telling me you sent me to the store to get the one onion and get this much? I got to use gas, energy. I was watching the game, had to come back, miss the game. Somebody done spoiled the score for me, right? I did all that for what? So you get this much onion? You didn't need the onion. Use onion powder, bro. What we talking about? What we talking about? It's not a good win. It was a win. It was an ugly win. Cost a lot. Cost a lot. I hope it was worth it. I don't think it was. I don't think it was. Giving Cade 2 nights off would have been golden. As Sandro saying, as a Nuggets fan, going 0-2 against the Wizards made me contemplate jumping through the window. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. Shouldn't have. Who cares? Sandro, you got a championship. You're a title contender. Keep the end goal in mind, bro. Keep it in mind. Nobody cares about the... Who cares about the Wizards, bro? We haven't cared about the Wizards since they had John Wall and Bradley Beal and Otto Porter Jr. and Kelly Oubre, Marcin Gortat, Jared Jeffries. That's when we cared about the Wizards. We don't care about these Wizards, bro. Appreciate that, Sandro. Appreciate that, Sandro. Make sure y'all smashing the like button. I'm telling you, bro. Classic, you feel me? Classic, you feel me in the chat. You feel me? Ain't nothing worse than getting sent to the store. They don't even use it. I need one lemon. One lemon? Send me to the store for one lemon? Use the orange. Worse, I already done went to the store. You didn't put it on the list. You're going to send me back. What are we talking about? You're not even sending me back to the store for Hawaiian rolls on Thanksgiving. I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving, but Hawaiian rolls, you need that for the turkey. I get it. Okay, that's essential. I get it. Let's go get it. This was not an essential win. This was not an essential win. Nobody was faulting the Pistons if they lost on a back-to-back trap game against the Wizards coming from Philly with Chicago and Philly later on in the week. Nobody was worried about it. Nobody was gonna worry about it, bro. Now, if we had the Bulls on the back to back, we need to get that lick back, bro. Let's go. Let's go. Knuckle up. Let's go. This is the win we need. Not the Wizards, bro. Hey, a month from now, we can forget all about this and be like, man, what was he all mad about, man? Everything Gucci, Jaden Ivey's making his return, Stats is back. We got Asar balling now, everybody playing good, and we all good. Cade Cunningham's getting to sit out because we blowing teams out by the fourth quarter. I hope that's the case. I truly hope that's the case. I hope by December we're rolling. Jalen Duren's taking 15 to 20 shots a game. He's averaging 25 and 12. We lean less and less and less on Cade Cunningham. He's only having to average about 18 shots a game, still getting to his 27 to 28 points a game, right? And we rolling. We at the top of the East still. I hope that's the case. And today is an aberration. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. But don't forget about Derrick Rose. When he got hurt, they was at the top of the East too. Yo, I gotta get up out of here. I gotta get up out of here. I like to leave y'all with something. I like to leave y'all with something. Um, hmm. You know, in light of what I'm talking about today, it's all about the squad. It's all about all of us making it. And I know that we live in a hyper individualistic society that tells you it's all about you. Get yours. Don't worry about nobody else. But the reality is, if all of us don't make it, none of us make it. Especially of those of us who come from marginalized communities. If all of us don't make it, none of us make it. And that has always been a strength of our communities across the board. Immigrant communities, um, different ethnic communities, right? Subgroup communities dealing with all. It's always been collective. We got the Golden State Warriors talking about strength in numbers. When you understand that it's about the collective finding success and not about individuals, there's power in that. There's strength in that. And if you apply that to your family, if you apply that to your friend groups, if you apply that to your community, you begin to recognize that you have a whole lot more than what you could have ever imagined in sticking together, working together, looking out for each other, calling each other, how you doing? I ain't talked to you in a while. How's the wife and kids? Right? How's that thing that was ailing you when you went to the doctors? Do you need anything? Especially in these times where folks is getting cut off from their access to, food stamps and stuff like that. Look, people are in need out here. Look out for each other. You got a backyard, you got some land, plant you an orange tree. That one orange tree is going to produce 200, 300 oranges every year. It may not just be just for you. Maybe you got a neighbor who ain't able to get fresh produce and you drop some oranges off to them. Right? Start thinking collectively. Plant you an apple tree. Plant you some herbs that can be medicine. Grow some ginger or something. But think about what you can do for your community. Think about what you can do for your squad, for your team that you want to see win. Because it ain't just about you getting a few buckets. Right? Don't be that church pastor who's driving the Benz and everyone else in the church is broke. Right? Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that one person that thinks that, oh, because he or she made it out the hood, that means everything's better for everybody else. Because most of the time, when you make it out the hood and you leave the hood, you done left the hood. So everyone else that you cared about there, they don't benefit from you. Y'all not in relationship no more. Y'all don't kick it. You have no idea what they're going through and how to help them out. And then when they ask you for money, it seems weird because you don't have the relationship to transfer that energy of resources. You don't go to the cookout no more. You done separated yourself from your community. You live in a community that you think has accepted you, that you were told was better because there's less of us there. And now you isolated there and your kids growing up having their hair touched and stuff like that and being called out their name and you don't even know, but you think they're going to have a better education and better life because they're going to that school that's supposed to be a better school with no real community, no real support. And then when you suffering, and you stressed out, you ain't got no partners around you no more because you done left them for a better neighborhood to move on up and get out. Right? Don't play that game. That's the game that they want us to play. That separate us from one another, make us weak. Remember, it's about the squad winning. It's about the community winning. It's about your family winning, your friends. When we win, all of us win. When we win, all of us win. Not just the one person. If I could leave you with something, I'll leave you with that. Look out for your loved ones. Call somebody today. Check in on them. Everybody needs somebody. We'll get at y'all next time. Live to the fullest, love deeply, and laugh hard as hell. I'm going to get at y'all next time.